You know, we are leaving the matrix here. Like, you know, this whole 9 to 5, working long hours, working for other people, you know, being locked into this routine, and that so many of us and families just feel like this is just so unnatural. Like, you know, why are we still living and working like this when we don't get to see our children, we're not spending time together as a family, and we don't have freedom to do what we want to do. Okay, so I've got Simon here and we are going to be talking to you guys about our big news, which is not another baby.
No, definitely not. We are getting on a plane and we're moving to Central America to travel and live for a year or longer, or maybe less, we don't know, and go live over in Central America, maybe Mexico, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Guatemala, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so it's super exciting and it's super big, and I shared the news with you guys the other day on Instagram, and I've had so many questions about it, obviously, because it's a really out-of-the-box type of thing to do. So we're going to answer a few of those questions and just give you a bit of a backstory as to why we've chosen Central America and, yeah, where this idea all came about. We traveled the world for 5 years.
4.5 years.
4.5 to 5 years before we came to Byron Bay to have our kids. We left Australia in 2000, you're better with dates.
The end of 2006, right at the end, went to Thailand. Then I think that was December, so pretty much all 2007.
We did a year. We had a 1-year ticket around the world, and we spent a lot of time in India and the Himalayas, and then did a little bit of Europe, and then came and did a little bit of Mexico, didn't we?
Yep.
And I remember we were on the Pacific side of Mexico and we were sitting on a beach at Zipolita. Remember, we were there for a few weeks.
Yep.
And I was looking at the Pacific Ocean and we were talking about going home. It had been a year and we were like, imagine if we could do another year. Like, what would that look like if we could do another year? And to cut a long story short, we ended up coming home and doing another year, and that year turned into another year. And our last trip, we went to Mexico for 2 months, and we just spent that entire time visiting all the temples, remember, all the Mayan ruins, and we'd just done the equinox at Palenque, and we'd been meditating at all the temples. And what I later realized that we were actually light gridding, which we didn't know at the time, but this is what we felt inspired to do. The last bit of our trip was
Isla Mujeres?
Isla Mujeres, the island of the women. We went and visited a fertility temple, you know, because we knew we were ready to come home and have our babies, and we made a blessing, and we obviously got very blessed because we were blessed with 4 children. But we made a promise then that we were going to one day come back to Central America with our children and live for a year. That was
we thought Central America was a good spot. We felt very safe there. The people are great.
It's got a really spiritual energy too, which we love.
Lots of spiritual stuff, lots of stuff to do with the Mayan traditions, and it was a really cool place. And it's not very big. Central America is not that big, not like South America, which is massive. So you can kind of go from country to country and move around, go from the Caribbean side to the Pacific side. Mexico is pretty big, but the other countries below, they're not that huge. And it's just a great spot. Lots of stuff to do. Yeah.
And we just liked it. So it was always, we came back to Byron Bay and to have our children, and that's what we've been doing for the last 12 years, one child after the other. And we've literally been telling our friends, anyone who's known us who lives up here in Byron Bay for 12 years, we've been talking about, we're going to go live in Costa Rica for a year, we're going to go to Central, we're going to do it. But the plan was to do it after Indy, our second child, was born. And we wanted to wait till she was 2, but then Amber surprised us and came along, and then we were like, well, we'll wait till Amber's 2, and then we had Phoenix. So we almost delayed it by just wanting to, you know, have lots of little beings in our family.
And then COVID came, and the governments locked us down.
Yeah, we couldn't go anywhere.
But it was all good.
It was all perfect timing, right?
All good timing. Ollie's 11 now, and Phoenix is 4, so I think it's kind of a good time to go.
Yeah,
it's probably harder to do when he's 15. You know.
Okay, so that's a bit of backstory why we're choosing Central America, because it's always been our dream. Now I'm going to get to some of the questions. Now, a lot of people are asking, how are we going to financially support ourselves while we're traveling? What is work going to look like? Are we going to work? Well, I'll start. Obviously, you guys know that all my work is online as an astrologer and a channel, and I will continue to do all of that anywhere in the world. So, you know, I'm a digital nomad. So for me, that's really easy. And for you, yeah, what do
Do they want to know what I'm doing?
Well, I mean, if they are inspired to do something like what they're doing, I think that's a really common question. Like, how are you guys going to afford to do this? Are you planning on working? Are you...
Yes,
you just have lots of money saved up, or?
Well, a bit of both. We've got money saved up, obviously, but I'm planning to do some remote working for what I was doing previously.
Very entrepreneurial.
Yeah, so different things, whatever comes to me. I'd love to spend some time doing some writing on a project, a personal project, and you know, just really enjoy it. It's not about just going over and working. It's about living there, enjoying the culture, having time with our kids who are growing up very quick. Maybe a bit of trading. I don't know. Financial market trading online. See what happens. Just be guided by the universe.
And also, I think that it's really important to know that, you know, we are leaving the matrix here. Like, you know, this whole 9 to 5, working long hours, working for other people, you know, being locked into this routine, and that so many of us and families just feel like this is just so unnatural. Like, you know, why are we still living and working like this when we don't get to see our children? We're not spending time together as a family, and we don't have freedom to do what we want to do. You know, this is the whole point. Like, you know, we want to make sure that what we do is not confined to this whole 9 to 5 routine. We want to, you know, work a small amount of hours a day. I think more importantly as well, and I think we both found this when we were traveling, because we really did leave the system the first time round. We really did leave the matrix. We sold everything. We quit our jobs. We were free. We were out of the system. And when you give yourselves time and space, and you get this when you're traveling, when you give yourself time and space to just be and be relaxed and happy, then new inspired ideas come to you, and you end up following your passion and your joy, because you've got so much spaciousness and freedom to do that. And that's always going to be abundant for you, because you're living in your joy and you're following what truly lights you up. So that is one of the beautiful things about traveling, because you've just got all this space and time to allow spirit to guide you with what it is that you want to do. And I'm so happy that you're going to be in that space to just be guided. And I know that whatever you end up doing while we're over there will just be from your highest happiness, you know, for both of us as well. So I think that's really important.
And I think that that's key. It's about, you know, divine timing, following synchronicities, not sitting down, because you sit down at 9 to 5 and generally, you know, the timing might not be right. You go, I've got to do this work, I've got to spend 3 hours and get these things done. And if it's not the right time, it doesn't work well, it doesn't happen the way you want it. I don't think the current system in the Western world allows for intuition, synchronicity, and just divine timing to sit down and do it when you feel like it, you know, following how you feel
in that moment.
And
so many people aren't following their passion as well. So, and they're like, oh, I'll just do my work and I'll do my passion on the side, or I'll do what I really love to do on the side. That's kind of the other way around, right? You know, it's the opposite way around. And I think that's why so many people are unhappy, because work's got to come first, right? Because the cost of living and everything is so locked in. Okay, so people want to know, kids, what are we doing with the kids? Are we homeschooling them?
What are we doing with the kids?
I don't know, are we bringing them? We are pulling them out of school here. I don't know, like the whole idea is to get them out of the system, to, you know, allow a bit more freedom and spaciousness with this whole school routine. We've really noticed the older two are very conditioned now. They've been in the public school for, you know, 4 and 6 years. We want to do something alternative with them, and we found that in Mexico, you know, there's a lot of Steiner schools or Montessori or natural nature schooling, forest schooling, like all of that sort of stuff that we've always wanted to do with them. We're really going to give them the opportunity to do that if they choose. All the children are unique as well, and they may not all want to do that, so we're just trying to go with the flow with each child and suit the needs of what each child needs, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, all those schools are available in Australia. You don't have to go to Central America to do that.
No.
You know, that's not the point. The point is doing something different, a different culture. Like, I think
learning a different language as well.
Most of their education won't be in the school. It'll be just day-to-day life. going to the markets, going to the beach, going to the mountains, talking to locals. They've already started learning a bit of Spanish because that's obviously what they speak in Central America. Tiff's been teaching them, which is great, and they really enjoy that.
Spanish.
They're kind of walking around the house talking this funny Australian Spanish, which is all mixed up. We're lucky we know a bit of Spanish, not much, from our previous travels. It's very basic, but the kids are going to learn it a lot quicker, pick it up a lot quicker, and be better than us pretty quickly. But I think that's really cool. So they can learn a language, not sitting in a classroom for a half-hour lesson, then forget it.
And that's the joy of world schooling. I mean, they're going to learn so much just by traveling with us. They already did when we went to Thailand for 5 weeks. And that's what we want for them. We want to kind of keep it open, so we will be doing a bit of homeschooling. We're just going to figure it out. I want to make sure that all the children have that freedom to go, school's not for me, I'm going to homeschool, or I love the school system and I want to be, you know, with the rhythm and the routine, and we want to make sure that all the children have that opportunity to choose that type of schooling that resonates with them. So it's going to be a mixture, and we're going to figure it out when we get over there. How long we're going for, and what are we going to do over there?
We're going for like, aiming for, we leave in May, so aiming for kind of 18 months. Could be a year, could be 18 months.
We're just leaving it open. It's a one-way ticket, you know. We might want to come back after 6 months. You know,
yeah, we might want to come back, and that's fine. We might go for 3 months and come back. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a bit longer once we get settled in and enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a lot here. We're selling most of our things and we're putting it into storage, and we are planning for a minimum a year, you know, with the type of stuff that we're doing, like we're letting go of our house and all that sort of stuff. Selling our cars, and so that's not really prepping for a 3-month trip. But that's what we feel inspired to do. That's how we feel inspired to go and prep for this. So I think just by following that inspiration of letting go of a lot of things, that's kind of an indication that it's probably going to be, I think, a year. I don't know. We just don't know. We don't know.
And it's good to let go of that stuff, because even just getting rid of cars, you don't want to be held on to stuff. Oh, I've got to do the rego, or, you know, holding on to houses and stuff. Just letting all that go, so there's no obligation. Because I think if you're caught up with a lot of that stuff, you're incentivized to come back early, or you're worrying about all those kind of materialistic things. Just to kind of be freed up, so we can just act as we choose to when we feel it in the moment.
Yeah, here's to freedom. And I think the battery is about to run out, so we will say thank you for watching, and yeah, let us know if you have any more questions or you want to see any more videos.
Adios.
Hasta luego.